from Willows and then into Colts, and then from Colts into Guards. And it was all just kind of a natural transition. We had to turn down a lot of stuff because Colts were doing so much, to where it became apparent that we really just couldn't do both. So we had to make a decision, and now our album's finally out. When you're writing for yourself, I think you automatically approach it in a much different way. And stuff that I would normally not feel comfortable doing, or think maybe that it's too poppy or something, I was able to do because it wasn't for me. We had the title for the album long before the songs. It was the first thing we had.
Yeah, a lot of the recording happened in our apartment and at his stepdad's studio. Where
in Piermont, yeah, in upstate New York, and then we did some of the drum tracks in Los Angeles. But it was a pretty long process. We had so many songs because from the time we recorded the EP, we just really never stopped recording. And then we went and mixed that album with Shane Stoneback, who's done a bunch of great bands. He did the Colts record, and he did Vampire Weekend's records and Sleigh Bells records. And it really just came down to who we wanted to sit in a studio with, for 2 weeks straight, 24 hours a day. And he's an awesome guy, and we were on the same page musically. He understood what we wanted to do. And then Greg Calby mastered it, and he's like the man.
Next album? Well, we're trying to take off the summer to record a new album.
Take the very best moment that you've ever had. That's the one, that is what.
I think it's very important for bands to be able to get their music out easily and cheaply. You have things like all this home recording software now. It's so cheap, and it's almost like anyone can go make a record in their bedroom. Like most of the Guards record was made in apartments in New York City, whereas like 15 years ago you couldn't do that. You have to go to a huge studio. So it's just a whole new era. With magazines, it's the same thing too. Print is dying, so stuff like sounds makes sense because it's a lot more logical,
I think a lot of times recording can be really frustrating. Whereas writing, there's no restrictions. You can just keep it flowing out. Whereas when you're recording it, sometimes it might be hard to get something to sound the way you want it to sound. And then performing it, I think that might be my favorite, just because there's no other way to get that feeling. At least that I found. You can't get it through drugs or sex or anything else. It's like that one thing.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.